Yeah, right into the hallway, like, we were going to go. So say these guys already cleared the room. Give me another 3 guys with me right here. So our, so we, the bell's rung, we've all run up, they cleared that room. Now I saw them go in there, there's no firing. I can see they're getting ready to go. They're like, hey, so we're this close, and they're just plywood walls. They're like, hey man, can you cover us? Sure. We'll hit the next, and I know there's a lot that doesn't happen in there, but if you actually like form a team and stuff like that, communication and stuff like that, and you're not going to get a whole lot of that when you just show up for open play. But if you recognize some of the faces from in here, maybe you guys can stick together. So the same thing, say like, so maybe he'll take a knee, switch to the left hand, this is our major threat, this guy's going to come up, kind of be covering the same thing, and it's tight, and they can only fit so many guys in the door, in the doorway. So now I have our guys with us, they're going to cover us. I'm down low, I'm all freaking crouched out. We can easily make it to the next freaking building. Another 3 seconds to where the doorway is. I got 2 guys, he's watching the doorway end out that way, he's not there, so bam. Go. If we got 2 guys, he can come with, he can come with me at the same time. So now we're here, the other 2 guys, like I'll nod to them, they nod back, give them a sign, and they'll come up and join us. So now we have these guys. So now they run our flank. Now we can go in and clear this room out. Then we go in, clear it out. If there's a door back in there, or if it's not, if it's like a dead end building, then we can come back out. Now we've got this. Now we've moved down to here, and we have this right side of the arena. So we have all this. Now you can sweep over and across. So So yeah, you can use bounding overwatch in there. It'd be hard, hard to find enough people to do it. Mm-hmm. Right? We actually know what they're doing. You kind of, like, no plan survives contact with the enemy. Communication, trying to keep everybody on the same page. It takes a lot of training. That's, that's why we have a professional military. We're all here, like, we're all trying to learn. So, if you can find people to do it with you and stick together to a plan, without, yelling and screaming at, like, hey, what are you doing? Cover my flag! And then, cause I've done it before. Like, hey, come up, there's smaller kids there. I'm like, hey, man, cover my 6, let's go. Try and sweep through. Go up to the thing, I turn around and, I've even had like a group of guys, like, you 4, come on with me. We're gonna go up and sweep through, through the spawn or whatever. We're gonna go up and capture the flag on domination. You get up there so far, I hate contact. They go around and talk to them, like, hey, let's flank around, and everybody ends up in your ass with threes. So, so it's nice when you have teammates there that back you up. That's the thing, like, the most powerful weapon is like a Marine Corps fire team. What's the most powerful weapon in the Marine Corps? Like a Marine Corps fire team or a Marine Corps rifle company. It's the most powerful weapon they have because it's 30 individuals or 30 Marines acting as one combined entity, as one unified force. So if you can do that, like you'll see some of these teams that come through. I can't remember what team was here the one night, but just 5 guys acting together, covering each other's 6s and everything like that, covering all the blanks, just mopping people up in here. So. No matter how skilled you are individually, you might get lucky once, maybe even twice, but one person against 5, that's losing odds right there. So, any questions on that? The next thing is standard or standard room. Like we covered up, like when we did the stairwell, like we're going up to the top. It's kind of a weird configuration. There's some really weirdly configured rooms in there that I've never really seen, like office buildings or houses with weird cutouts and stuff like that. So that'd be like a non-standard room, which might have multiple openings. 3 doorways, a window. You got couch and furniture in there. It'd be like kind of like a fucked up room. The same thing would be like a danger area. Middle thing. It's really fucked up in there. But, that's always like a standard room, like figure like an office building, something like that, where it's mostly square, rectangular, with maybe 1 or 2 entrances off there that your fire team can cover. Like if it's really jacked up or it's really large, and you're working with a larger group, and you get to that area, there's you can stop and call for backup. So, say you're running a squad with 3 fire teams in it. Your fire team 1, you get to, you're supposed to be clearing out this building out, and it's like a giant, something the size. A lot larger than you expected it to be, with multiple areas that you need to cover, and you only have 4 guys, which is like you feel that you can't do it with 4 guys. So it's another thing with radio communications and the larger ops. Everyone has assigned channels and stuff like that. You can call in to Alpha 1 is Alpha 2, be advised, we're going to need backup, you need to send at least another fire team. We have a irregular shape, regular building with regular rooms or whatever. And then hopefully you get another fire team shortly before you maybe hit contact or something like that. Now you have 2 teams to clear it out. So you can even, once you get in, secure the one, you have your guys cover the doors when the next fire team moves up. If you go inside, you'll see it. And if we didn't have people in open play right now, maybe we'll have to start the next class earlier. And I don't know how early people will be able to show up, but you get a little bit more time inside. Yeah, and you can see, because there are some really jacked up rooms in there that is like a nightmare. There's only 4 guys, let alone 2 or 3, 2 or 3, or 1. Yeah, exactly. Or 1, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go home. All right. Communications, hand and arm signals. There's a lot of hand and arm signals go. I know anybody, if there's any other prior military here, there's standard hand and arm signals, like double time. This is assigned for like fire team. So if I was a squad leader and I wanted the first fire team, I'd be like this. This means fire team. I'd be like 1. I want the first fire team. Double time. This is pace count, which you will never, never need. Everything like that. The biggest thing is making up your own hand and arm signals for your team. You get a group of guys to go over. Like I said, this is a fucked up danger area. This is like a regular, regular danger area, something you guys can handle on your own without it being too messed up. Same thing, like I said, when you guys have the rooms crisscross, we're gonna do the crisscross, or hey, we're gonna do button, we're gonna do button hook. So you need to come up with that on your own. Just develop something that everyone can agree with, and that it's easy to remember. Yeah, we like cover me, I'm fuck you, I'm covered. All right, everyone know challenge and password. You'll see this at the bigger games, stuff like that. So be like. So it'd be like, if it was like, it'll just say like flipper and tuna. You come up, you don't see it, challenge is flipper, the response is tuna. So, if I don't have positive visual identification or I hear something rustling, be like, hey, flipper. And you don't hear anything else, I'm going to spray the bush down or whatever. If they come back with tuna, however, that's pretty easy to come up on. If somebody's out there sitting in the bush or whatever, they hear that, be like, all right, it's freaking flipper and tuna. The next thing is sign, countersign. It's like the more advanced version. If you can ever get on track with that, you'll just use a numerical number. So go ahead.
So like if the number's 7, him and I are on the same squad, I go like this. I know he's one of mine.
Same thing. That's the biggest. Yeah, that's the greatest.
Usually, if I'm flashing a sign like that, I got somebody watching. So that way, if the old boy decides he's going to get slick, it goes, oh, he's just holding up the number 4. And decides he's going to pull the trigger. I got somebody who's going to pull the trigger on him.
Well, so if somebody is watching, maybe they'll only see one thing. So they'll see, okay, well that guy just held up 3 fingers. Maybe they're signed back and forth is like 3 to each other or whatever. So some guy, next time you run into somebody like all 4 or whatever, he's holding up 5 and I hold back 3 because I think 3 is the number, right? I saw those guys hold up 3. No, it's not. So and usually what I do with whatever you can do with one hand, you don't want to be going. 16s, yeah, exactly. So
1 to 10.
So keep it kind of simple. Anything you can do on one hand. Okay. All right. All clear coming out. Like when you're in buildings and stuff like that, if you actually say, and like more standard buildings and stuff like that, you'll have a hallway and you'll have rooms that come off the hallway. Have rooms that go off the hallway, stuff like that. So you have a cover party in the hallway, and pretty much. Depending on you and stuff like that, they'll turn the hallway, once the cover team's there, they'll turn the hallway into a free fire zone, which means, if anything comes out, they're going to hose it down, they're hosing it down. So, and that's where these, the all clear coming out is. So you can go with knocks too, and like a lot of times we use the number, it was 2 knocks, or you even knock twice with your hand. If the ball wasn't enough to resonate that sound, then, you're just sticking your hand out with number 2, knowing that, hey, this room does not have a door that goes into the next room. We need to come back out to the hallway to move down. So that way, if you do have a cover party, you're not coming. Those guys will get jumpy and stuff like that. Friendly fire. So same thing. You try and keep it down because if you just yell all clear, if there's guys down in the room, they're like, oh, all clear, all clear. The all clear keeps on getting closer and closer. They know you're coming, but maybe a knock or just a hand signal. If you're doing like a soft insert, different ways to go in the building. You can do like a hard insertion where there's lots of yelling and shooting like that, or like a soft insertion or dynamic entry where you're trying to keep stealth and surprise until the absolute last possible minute we have to fire and start yelling and screaming. So that's another thing you won't see here, like going through buildings. We don't carry grappling hooks to go into the roof. There's a lot before, doctrines go into the top and stuff like that. We ran into problems over in Iraq and stuff like that. So, top down, you go top down and bottom up. If you do scale, get dropped off on top, you go down, you hit, take casualties and stuff like that, and it's hard to get up. You have to fight your way down out of that building or go out through a window. Where at least if you come in through the bottom, then if you take casualties, you run into a lot more resistance in your hand. You can always break contact and pull back out. So, but like I said, none of these buildings are close. They don't have roofs to begin with. We're not jumping from roof to roof, which you can do. That's another option you have, like in an actual situation. If you need to move, instead of moving down streets, parallel streets, stuff like that. We're not going to get into all that. So yeah, all clear coming out, 2 knocks. Or you want to do 3 knocks, whatever. Number 3 to number 2 is real easy because this is 2. So sometimes your third finger doesn't get out there. I know mine doesn't. So they might not see it. So number 2. All right, another thing for if you're using bounding overwatch for flag and rag signals, like playing outdoors, everyone usually carries a red, you're supposed to carry a red rag for you, get shot for you're dead. Well, you can use your dead rag for more than just marking you're dead, especially if you carry 2 rags, a white rag and a red rag. So say you have a built-up area, especially like at Mercer or whatever, where you have buildings that are parallel that run down. There's one, there's that one tower in the center. There's buildings that run down off the side. So if we have fire teams that are moving up and we're going to systematically clear each building as we go down the street or whatever, and say we have, a fire team plus, we've got like 6 or 7 guys on each side of the street, so to speak. So, I clear my building and they've cleared their building. But say I'm the fire team leader and I want them to attack and I'm going to cover. Well, if you have a white rag would mean cover, and red rag would be I'm going to assault the next building in the line. So I have all my guys in there, we're all set up, we cleared the building, I hang a white rag out saying, hey, I'll cover you if you'll assault. Now, if they agree, they'll flash their red rag ahead and hang their red rag out. If they don't feel comfortable, they'll hang their white rag out saying, hey, I want to cover you fucking assault. So then you have to hash them in, get on the radio. And that's to limit radio communications too, anything that could be intercepted, And they try and keep, everyone uses the FMS, DRS radios and stuff like that. You're not supposed to go on somebody else's freaks when, hey, it happens. The people are out there doing electronic warfare. So, and that's the thing for you can use rags to signal that, So I hang the red rag out, hey, we're ready to assault. And they're over in their building. They can cover our building as we're moving towards it. They have to cover from their building while we're out in the open exposed. So you can use flags and rags to signal. And whistles, it's not a big deal. Some people use them. If you get on a dock, if you take standard operating procedures for whistles, they can be very beneficial. They can also not work that great either. So you can make up your own whistle signals too. Usually if you're controlling a large group, say you're a squad leader, larger op, and you have 20 guys, and so to avoid, having too much radio traffic on your own squad's frequency, be like, hey, get everyone together before the op starts, be like, hey, we're going to use whistles. If we're moving, in a tactical column, movement to contact or whatever, and we take contact and I hear it, I'm going to blow one long blast of my whistle. That means everybody can get up online, and everyone gets up online. So once I see everyone's up online, I think everyone's up online, I'll be like, hey, 2 whistles. If I hear 2 long whistle blasts, that means we're pushing through online. Everyone gets 1 long whistle after we all get up, we're all in cover, we're shooting stuff like that. We maintain fire superiority. I'm like, all right, we need to push through. So 2 long whistle blasts. Instead of me screaming like, hey, everyone, push through, you're trying to yell, you're getting a hoarse voice and everything like that. So you can use a whistle instead, 2 long whistle blasts, everyone gets up and moves through. And the same thing, if it's 3 long whistle blasts, everyone to the left of me push through, and everyone on the right of me is going to be base of fire. Or, vice versa, the left base of fire and the right moving through. So you can use whistles, it's not very common, but it's an option out there for you to utilize. Does anybody have any questions on communication? I know on the forums we had there was a radio communication guide, which is pretty good. I know the forums are down, so we might have to repost it.
Yeah, they're back up.